Hello, you're watching News Mongolia on MNB World, and I'm your host, Jaralma Dushinjargar. On the News Mongolia today, 2024 government spending increased by 34.9% compared to the previous year. Inspections are being conducted regarding the impact of carbon monoxide on human health. Faces of the Steppe opens at the University for Foreigners of Perugia. For the news, stay tuned. Mongolia's state budget grew in 2024, with expenditures up 34.9% and revenues rising 27%. Despite a 776.2 billion Mongolian tugruks deficit, coal exports exceeded forecasts, though lower prices impacted revenue. Tax collections surged and government spending increased sharply. The 2025 budget aims for a balance of 33.5 trillion Mongolian tugruks.
According to preliminary data, the balanced revenue and aid of the unified state budget reached 29.6 trillion MNT in 2024, marking a 27% increase from the previous year. Meanwhile, total expenditures and net lending amounted to 30.4 trillion MNT, resulting in a budget deficit of 776.2 billion MNT. Mongolia planned to export 78 million tons of coal in 2024, generating approximately 9 trillion MNT in revenue from the mining sector. However, by the end of the year, 83.7 million tons of coal were exported for a total of $8.6 billion. However, by the end of the year, 83.7 million tons of coal were exported for a total of $8.6 billion. While the physical volume of exports grew by over 20%, the average selling price per ton was $103, showing a slight decline in value compared to the previous year, according to a report from the National Statistics Office. Tax revenue reached 27.4 trillion MNT in 2024, representing a 27% increase from 2023 and an approximately 70% increase from 2022. The 35% rise in government expenditures compared to the previous year was mainly driven by an 85.7% increase in goods and service expenses, reaching 4.4 trillion MNT, and a 52% increase in capital expenditures. For 2025, the state budget has been approved, with projected revenues and expenditures amounting to 33.5 trillion MNT, ensuring a balanced budget with no deficit.
Approximately 9,000 public servants from the capital's local government agencies, districts, and horos, as well as households and business entities, are conducting inspections and providing guidance on the safe operation of stoves and carbon monoxide detectors. Although the intensity of the cold has decreased and heating has lessened in recent days, it is noted that the risk remains high among children due to the school holidays.
Under the directive to conduct research and inspections on air pollutants and their sources, approximately 9,000 public servants from the capital's local government agencies and district horos are monitoring the safety of stoves, ensuring the proper functioning of carbon monoxide detectors, and checking whether the third source of air pollution is being burned in a total of 196,000 households, businesses, and government organizations across the 7 districts of Ulaanbaatar. We are providing guidance and information as part of this effort. This household has a non-standard stove with extremely high carbon monoxide risks. The chimney has a significant gap, and 2 chimneys from different levels have been connected. The stove has holes, which is why there is a high level of carbon monoxide in this home. The carbon monoxide detector is connected to a transmitter that sends signals to our central office. However, it seems that the radiator has been disconnected and the family might be using it for something else. This means that the carbon monoxide detector is no longer functioning. When the detector was operational, it would monitor this household 24/7, and if carbon monoxide was detected, our center would respond quickly to take action.
When we first received the carbon monoxide detector, it came with a round white battery, and they instructed us to place it near the stove. Last year, we did attach it, but it fell off. Then, when it broke, we wanted to repair it, but they required a lot of paperwork to do so. When we went to the district office to get a new one, they told us we had to gather a whole bunch of documents. Since we didn't have the time to chase after it and prepare the necessary paperwork, we didn't get it repaired again.
As for this household, it has an exemplary stove that fully meets the standards. The carbon monoxide detector with a transmitter is constantly connected to power and is installed in the right position, facing downward on the ceiling, which is the proper placement. By keeping it connected to power and properly installed, our operators can monitor and fully protect this household from carbon monoxide risks 24/7.
Through collaboration between the University for Foreigners of Perugia and the Mongolia Italy Society, the opening ceremony for Faces of Steppe by Bilhung Ocher, a student of the Academy of Fine Arts, took place at the university on January 14th. We have details from Rai Italia.
The opening event was attended by Valeria de Cesaris, rector of the University for Foreigners of Perugia, and Nima, president of Mongolia Italy Society, both of whom delivered speeches. In her introduction, artist Bilwacher emphasized that she aimed to show that while people may appear different due to their unique features, cultures, or religious beliefs, their dreams and thoughts are fundamentally similar. The exhibition contributes to strengthening cultural relations between Mongolia and Italy. The Mongolian face is very different from the European face. However, if we look at each other as human beings, we are all at the same. While cultures and traditions differ across countries, as people we share many similarities. The Faces of the Steppe exhibition was organized by the Mongolia Italy Society, which works to strengthen bilateral relations in collaboration with the University for Foreigners of Perugia. The portraits on display are of individuals familiar to the young artist who graduated from the Fine Arts Department of the Mongolian State University of Arts and Culture and is currently studying at the Academy of Fine Arts in Perugia. These portraits not only represent the Mongolian face and the essence of the steppe, but also symbolize the limitless spatial vastness of the steppe, reflecting the free spirit of the heart and mind. Despite a population of 3.8 million, Mongolia is geographically 5 times larger than Italy. Approximately 50 Mongolians live in Perugia, all of whom are students at the University for Foreigners of Perugia, the Academy of Fine Arts, and the Marlachi Conservatory of Music.
We have close ties with this country, and we are delighted to host this remarkable exhibition by a student from the Academy of Fine Arts. This event not only strengthens our collaboration with the Academy, but also serves as an excellent opportunity to introduce Mongolia, a country not widely known in Italy, to a broader audience.
Thank you for staying with us. Here is the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. Next, our program will turn our attention to foreign news, partnered with international news agencies. Donald Trump was sworn in as the 47th president Monday, promising a revolution of common sense and taking charge as Republicans assume unified control of Washington and set out to reshape the country's institutions. He pledged to completely and totally reverse the actions of his predecessor.
Trump, who overcame impeachments, criminal indictments, and a pair of assassination attempts to win another term in the White House, will act swiftly after the ceremony, with executive orders already prepared for his signature to clamp down on border crossings, increase fossil fuel development, and end diversity and inclusion programs across the federal government. Declaring that government faces a crisis of trust, Trump said in his inaugural address that under his administration, the sovereignty will be reclaimed and the safety will be restored.
Over the past 8 years, I have been tested and challenged more than any president in our 250-year history, and I've learned a lot along the way. The journey to reclaim our republic has not been an easy one, that I can tell you. Those who wish to stop our cause have tried to take my freedom and indeed to take my life. Just a few months ago in a beautiful Pennsylvania field, an assassin's bullet ripped through my ear. But I felt then, and believe even more so now, that my life was saved for a reason. I was saved by God to make America great again.
World leaders started congratulating President Trump with inauguration. Notably, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu congratulated President Donald Trump on his second inauguration as President of the United States.
Netanyahu thanked Trump for his efforts in helping free Israeli hostages. Netanyahu also added that he is confident that they will complete the defeat of Iran's terror axis and usher in a new era of peace and prosperity for the region.
Congratulations, President Trump. Sarah and I send our warmest wishes to you, Melania, and the American people on your second inauguration as President of the United States. Your first term as President was filled with groundbreaking moments in the history of the great alliance between our two countries. You withdrew from the dangerous Iran nuclear deal. You recognized Jerusalem as Israel's capital. You moved the American embassy to Jerusalem, and you recognized Israel's sovereignty over the Golan Heights. You also brokered the historic Abraham Accords, in which Israel made peace with 4 Arab countries. I believe that working together again, we will raise the U.S.-Israel alliance to even greater heights. I'm confident that we will complete the defeat of Iran's terror axis and usher in a new era of peace and prosperity for our region. On behalf of the people of Israel, I also want to thank you for your efforts in helping free Israeli hostages. I look forward to working with you to return the remaining hostages, to destroy Hamas's military capabilities and end its political rule in Gaza, and to ensure that Gaza never again poses a threat to Israel. I'm sure, Mr. President, that under your leadership, the best days of our alliance are yet to come.
Donald Trump, who overcame impeachments, criminal indictments, and a pair of assassination attempts to win another term in the White House, was sworn in Monday as the 47th U.S. president, taking charge as Republicans claim unified control of Washington and set out to reshape the country's institutions. Trump's swearing-in ceremony moved indoors due to intense cold and began at noon East Times, 5 p.m. GMT. Festivities started earlier when the incoming president arrived for a service at St. John Episcopal Church.
Sir, this next executive order.
UK Foreign Secretary David Lammy said he looks forward to working with Donald Trump over the next 4 years as the president-elect prepared to take oath of office later on Monday.
The Republican on Monday at noon local time became the 47th president, overcoming impeachments, criminal indictments, and a pair of assassination attempts.
Well, I welcome the election of Donald Trump. We look forward to working with Donald Trump at this tough geopolitical moment, recognizing that 77 million people voted for Donald Trump. He got more votes from young people, African Americans, Latinos than the Republican Party have got for some considerable time. We have a special relationship with the United States. It doesn't matter who's in the White House or number 10, and we look forward to working with Donald Trump over the next 4 years.
Trump takes charge as Republicans assume unified control of Washington, giving him a fresh opportunity to reshape the country's institutions. The inaugural ceremony was moved indoors to the Capitol Rotunda because of frigid weather. Throngs of Trump's supporters who descended on Washington to watch the proceedings from the National Mall will be left to find other places to view his ascension.
Well, that's all for today. Thank you for staying with us. We'll see you tomorrow with more news and updates. Goodbye.